Jamie Lowe interviews Dirt McGirt, the artist formerly known as Old Dirty Bastard. Dirt: fine, I guess. Interviewer: what do you mean you guess? Dirt: I just been a bad boy, that's all. Ain't nothing to it. Interviewer: you were in jail. Dirt: yeah. Interviewer: what was it like? Dirt: not good. Interviewer: why? Dirt: nothing is paid a mind to, really. Interviewer: what was jail like? Dirt: it's just living and dying. Interviewer: what kind? Dirt: with no feeling. Now I have no feelings towards the future because feelings are emotions. I don't have those either. Interviewer: can you expand on that? Dirt: man, look up at the sky. All the stars, man. The stars is beautiful tonight. Look at them. Interviewer: does being on parole affect the way you make music? Dirt: people were trying to kill me. Interviewer: do you think your music will be the same? Dirt: nobody's life is based on something they decide. Interviewer: is there a problem? Dirt: nah, I was just thinking about something else. Family tree: Cherry Jones, mother. William Jones, father. Russell Jones, born 1968, died 2004. Shaquita Jones, daughter. Taniqua Jones, daughter. Barson Jones, son, better known as the Young Dirty Bastard. I wonder if they feel about me the way I feel about the olive nestled in the corner of my bowl of rice, the taste of everything that came before it, retrospective coated in brine. Interviewer: can you expand on that? Dirt: I'm not trying to get all personal. A song for Dirt. When you get off parole, you're going to Hawaii. No pills, just water and the sounds in your head. Collect enough aliases and your name never dies. Interviewer: what was the first thing you did when you got out? Dirt: hug my mom. Dirt: I don't know if Old Dirty Bastard is even here anymore. Dirt: I think he's gone. Note: I was warned by his management that he can go one of two ways and it just depends who shows up that day. Cherry Jones, mother of his style. Well, how it works is Russell died so Dirty could live forever. He made a performance of his pathology, rhymed his way out of his body. Genius is a carnivore, you know. A cannibal, a fucking factory for martyrs. He cried help, you know, but it rhymed, so we applauded. He gutted himself into his own puppet, but the blood glittered. His mother outlived him. He was his best, worst invention. The wrong name outlived him. That's why, that's why, that's why, that's why. He died a restless death, so don't act like you know anything. Robert Diggs, better known as the RZA, bandmate. He walked like this, walked with straight posture, hands behind his back. Every time he spoke with wisdom. The radiance that he had, the beauty that he had. His whole look was just angelic, and when he became Old Dirty Bastard, he became more successful. He made a lot more money, he had a lot more fun, a lot more things going on, but he went further away. A song for Dirt. Management. Yeah, I'm sure he knew he was going to die. Dissolved to just water, that's what everyone said. When you get off parole, you're going to Hawaii. Note: as I left his apartment full of functional furniture and bare walls, I caught a glimpse of his bedroom and his fairy tale canopy bed, shrouded in cascading yellow chiffon. All I got left to do is be black and absurd. Interviewer: is there a problem? Dirt: yeah, okay. We don't do drugs and all that stuff. Interviewer: why? Note: his eyes rolled back, his face screwed up tight, and he started talking in another voice, answering a question I never asked. A second or two passed and he was back to Dirt, unaware that he had said anything. There was a second flash of another person, just for a second. All I got left in me is things that rhyme that I don't mean to say. All I got left is a body full of names my mama won't call me by. Interviewer: what do people say when they see you? Dirt: hey Dirty. Interviewer: do you have any friends? Dirt: nah. Old Dirty Bastard, Dirt Dog, Joe Bananas, Big Baby Jesus, Ace on Unique, Russell Jones, Dirt McGirt, The Specialist, Super Bastard, The Bizza, Osiris. Interviewer: so what's up with the splits in your identity? Dirt: see, my name is something that you'll never know unless. Interviewer: can you expand on that? Cherry Jones, mother of his style. For a minute, his name was Rusty. A song for Dirt. I think you did your full best, really did try. Left behind water in your canopy bed. When you get off parole, you're going to Hawaii. Collect enough aliases and your name never dies. Last will and testament of Russell Tyrone Jones. Article 4. No more monikers, no more trouble, just him and his birthright, his voice and his very first name. And it closes with a quote. What's the world without dirt? Just a bunch of fucking water. Rhyme fest. So now I'm going to do an experiment. Did our mothers invent loneliness, or did it make them our mothers? Were we fathered by silence, or just looking to explain away this gaping quiet? Is it wasteful or wistful to pray for our brothers in the language they never learned? Whose daughters are we if we grow old before our mothers, or for their sakes? They called our grandfathers the January children, lined up by the colonizer and assigned birth years by height. There is no answer because we come from men who do not know when they were born, who married women shown to them in photographs, whose children left the country and tried for romance, and had daughters full of all the wrong language. Khartoum in the 80s, my mother with ribbons in her hair, dress fanning about her nutmeg calves. My father, who I hear was so lively and handsome that only bad magic could have emptied that and filled him with smoke. The borrowed record player, the generation that would leave to make nostalgia of these very nights, to hyphenate their children and grow gnarled by diasporas every winter. But tonight, Motown crackling in the hot twilight, mosquitoes swaying in the velvet dusk, my parents dance without ever touching. And now my mother harbors her country's music in her lungs. These songs, the only things she got in the divorce. There's a TV show we used to watch when we lived in Egypt, where a group of Sudanese youth sing old Sudani love songs. We don't get the channel here in the US. Tonight, my mother finds every episode on YouTube. After a quiet dinner of leftovers at the kitchen counter, because it's just us two, my brother's out being 19 and popular. My mother and I sit together in the half-light, eat mango with our hands, and listen to Asim al-Banna sing Fit. And I never hear love songs like this in English. Songs that are as much about a country as they are about a woman. Songs where a woman is country. Before we grew bitter and learned not to make a world out of a person, learned not to make a world out of a country, because even your mother's country can betray you. My mother's country broke her heart, and I want to cry, picturing her eating mango alone in the dark, singing to herself. My brother and I, a world away, with our fast English and our hip-hop and our late nights. We are not from a world where love songs are like this. We are not romantic. We are not considerate. We forget to call. We do not bother to phone the cable people to ask for the channel with my mother's favorite show. We do not bother to teach her how to bookmark videos on YouTube, how to download all the old love songs into her iTunes, how to buy mango, already sliced, packaged in neat plastic tubs. Instead, today I go to yoga in the morning, fry an egg for breakfast, go to a jazz show, then to an apartment in Brooklyn to drink pomegranate juice and flirt with all the boys. I have not heard from my mother in 3 days, or my brother. They live in Egypt. I watch the news and spend every breath of prayer in me on scraping their faces off the pictures of the injured, on smudging my brother's dimples and gap teeth off the crumpled body smeared across my television, on melting my mother's small hands and lilting accent off the gunshots marked maps, their drilling conquest through skin and fat and bone. I pray my mother, 5 feet tall and soft-eyed, away from the looters, from the salty rot of human flesh set ablaze by walls of buildings once called home. I beg my brother, 6'2" and 16 years old, away from the police, their batons, their thirst for the crack of weapon against bone, a percussion whose mere thought lodges itself like a talon in my gut, births in me a fear of music I never thought I'd know, the crackling of old records, a mocking echo of burning skin, fists hammering skull into the most breakable piano. This is not a vague political statement to make my Twitter look worldly. There are no t-shirts for this. This is not a poem. This is my mother, my brother. I've spent my whole life experiencing bloodshed in theory, from a comfortable desk an ocean away, without a face to put to the loss, no names native to my throat, just the people. An abstract mass of brown and bone and air. This isn't abstract anymore. I don't know where my mother is. I don't know if my brother is alive. There are stories of Sudan today, of tear gas, futile punishment for a culture suckled for years by tears and blood. There are stories of the festering exasperation of a people, of a generation that knows nothing better than the strain of bated breath against the throat. My cousins have been arrested for protesting. We do not know where they are being held. My cousins, no different from me but for the fact that I got out, that I was born to the woman who escaped to America. This is all that separates them from a life of sneakers and poetry slams and short skirts and house parties. This is all that separates me from the adolescents in a police state, from women beaten in the street for wearing pants in public and allowing their wild curls to creep out from underneath their headscarves. So when asked where I was the day the world caught fire, what I was doing, while fate closed a skin-thick distance between my family's blood blood and the open sky, I have no real answer. I have Brooklyn. I have jazz. I have boys. Distraction enough to pretend that somewhere, in the gut of the storm that my family is from, blood does not pour in silken sheets, in oceans, tangling all the breath in my throat. Nowhere is America enough to distract me from this. But joking over breakfast one morning, my uncle and brother agree that they will make sure the women they marry are nothing like me. We laugh together. They then in turn bring home women who are nothing like me. Gentle creatures with quiet hands, soothing words perched and primed at the backs of their throats, hearts open and ready to be made homes of. I remember the joke about how I am not the kind of woman to make a home of. I remember now that it was not a joke, because my body is a pill, small, and love is the wrong man's tongue to tell me so. My body dissolves. My body finds men who are water and calls them home. My body is everything that happened to me. Love is a thing my body borrows to forget. Love is a pill. My body is water. My body is a tongue, and love dissolves. Love calls the wrong man home. Love makes my body a stain and goes looking for water on the wrong man's tongue. Love is a house. My body is a bath drawn in floodwater. My body trickles in through the floorboards. Love is the carpet that I've ruined. Love is decoration. Love is an alternative to water. Love is just something to do until the wars start. My body is a border drawn up by some man long ago. Love is everything that happened in between. Love is the floorboards. My body is decoration. Love ruined all the carpets. My body is the carpet. My body is the stain. Love makes it all dissolve. Love is an alternative to home. Love is floodwater. My body burned to the ground. My body called the wrong man home. Love started the fire. My body is everything that happened after. The wrong man is an alternative to love. The wrong man is a map. Home is where he puts the lines. My body is a border drawn by accident, by the wrong man's tongue. Love makes scars on my body and calls them borders. The wrong man mistakes my body for a body of water. Love let the wrong man decide what my body mistakes for home. Love started the fire. My body is a house on fire. My body drew a bath in floodwater. The wrong man is floodwater. Love and the wrong man are an alternative to hating my body. My body is a body of water, poured over everything that happened to me. My body makes every scar an island. The wrong man makes my body small, a pill. Love makes the water, and my body dissolves. So swell from my every shriveled part. Streetcar man, do you know I once lay bleeding, painted all in gold? You need not find me beautiful. Mixed with water, my edge is dull. Here I am, little dagger ready to make home of your shirt pocket. Answer me. Answer me. I thought I'd met all the wrong men before you, and I thought they'd ruined me. And I thought you were really handsome, the way a map is handsome, with skin wide open, soaked in the whole world's ink. I thought I was done pulling paint off the walls. I thought I wanted to read you the names of every city that had ever burned down. I thought we'd like it there. When I met you, I had so many secrets, all tucked up in my skull where I like to hide myself. You lured me out here, promised you'd sing to me all the time, but now you're all out of breath. Washed me all out of your breath. You treat my name now like a foreign thing, a finished song, the dead language that you studied when you thought it meant you were a scholar, until you found out that I couldn't make a scholar out of you, couldn't make a scribe out of you. And what is a lover when held up against all these important things? What is a song like me compared to all the other important things you could be doing with your breath? That's okay. I know that I'm not a language, just a strange girl borrowing words for boys like you to make into music. You just made language sound so much like music that I thought you had a song for me, thought I was a song for you, a secret, whispered onto the nape of a lover's neck, safe in the dip of a lover's ear, pulled in the hollow of a collarbone to call home and stay a while. But languages die out when we forget the words. You forgot me, and it's so quiet now. And now he tells his friends, I don't know, man. She gets so quiet and I can feel the paint shiver off the walls, but she not even all that special, you know? Just eyes, 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 hair, teeth, and all that quiet. Doesn't she know who I am? How many girls with more breasts and laughter I could harness to this gap in my teeth? I mean, who really cares that when it's November time outside, she leans up against the window, fogs the glass up with her mouth, and leaves a map of the whole world. Every music man I've ever loved, the jazzmen in their shirt sleeves, the bluesmen in their sweat, every rapper that lured the heartbeat out of his own body, the hands I borrowed from their instruments and took from my own skin, the doorway mouth, the new knowledge of hollowness when a chest is filled with another's breath. I understand the saxophone, her particular brand of empty, the quiet left behind when the lover's mouth finds another name to cradle. Questions for John Coltrane from his saxophone. Dear John, what greater love is there than that between sweat and brow? What lullabies nest in your breath when you are silent? What am I without your breath? What am I when you are silent? A sword is only as powerful as its swordsman. I have no voice without your whispers, my dear John. What other women have known the notes coaxed into your palms? Did Alice's fingers coax from you the same songs you loosened from my throat? Who is Naima? And why does the melody in her memorials feel such a longing out of me? Please don't tell me that you love her, but do you not? Dear John, what greater love is there than that between raw lips and gleaming brass? How Hamlet, North Carolina is our Harlem these days? How hometown are your fingers and their dance along my neck? What bruises did you smudge all down the length of me? In a masterpiece of fingerprints from bow to bell, you claimed every slope, every key. I was yours. Weren't we happy? Before our train trekked all those miles, all those months, wasn't it always just us two? Before the women who loved you mortal, who knew not the blue shades of your breath, knew nothing of the maps at the tips of your fingers, knew nothing of our love. How was I to have known that out of me you would coax the greatest love song, titled in the name of another and never mine? And who else could have known that the birthplace of your breath was not your lungs, but the hollowest parts of my belly? When they booed you in France, who stood unflinching at your lips when the heroin swirled radioactive in your blood? Who poured its beams out into sound? And when the cancer thrust its roots into you and made a fossil of your body, who remained the only vessel for your breath? Dear John, tell me please, why mothers dread losing their daughters to jazzmen. Tell me why my voice lost all its melody when you left. Tell me, how is it that you could have left when we had the greatest love of all? A love of brass and sore lips, a love of exhale, of molding stories from an empty cavity, a love immemorial, a love supreme, of a music man and his saxophone. Saxophone's mournful syrup, shiver of guitar, and a smoke-eyed voice studded with the names of all our dead boys and all our burned cities. Hey, mister, I met you at a time when my life needed saving, and still I found a little room to save a little room for you, but forgot to save some for myself, forgot to save myself. Thought that loving you would save my life, thought that you would save my life just because it needed saving. And just because you were my life, I thought that you would save it. Thought you would be the kind of man who would know how to save himself, but you couldn't even save me, and I'm just a little girl, you know? It doesn't take that much saving to save me, it doesn't take that much room to save me, it doesn't take that much to save a little room for me. I'm just a little room. All empty now ever since I crawled out of myself to make a little room for you. I was a little room for you. But my mama raised a house, raised a palace, raised a sky, raised a thunderstorm. You are just a little room, mister. And no, you can't touch my hair. That's where I keep all my secrets. All my black girl magic secrets. All my black girl rage and secrets. Oh, you think I'm mixed. I'll tell you a funny story. It's about men on horseback and what they did to my people. Here's a spoiler. My skin tone is the punchline. Did our mothers invent loneliness, or did it make them our mothers? Were we fathered by silence, or just looking to explain away this gaping quiet? Is it wasteful or wistful to pray for our brothers in the language they never learned? Whose daughters are we if we grow old before our mothers, or for their sakes? They called our grandfathers the January children, lined up by the colonizer and assigned birth years by height. There is no answer because we come from men who do not know when they were born, who married women shown to them in photographs, whose children left the country and tried for romance and had daughters full of all the wrong language. Thank you guys so much. The Cottonmouth Official.